jingles, music videos, narratives, documentaries, press services and programs on occasion or outside live broadcasting of mass and other church functions, government or indoor functions and political rallies, creation and broadcasting of special programs, sponsored content, sports and entertainment, and advertising for small, medium and large enterprises. All services are offered at competitive prices. Tune in daily to catch Luntha television on Zuko on channel 51, Starsat channel 474, Star Times channel 474, Topstar 474, Kliye 007, GoTV on channel 807, Azam on channel 386, and live streams on our YouTube and Facebook platforms. You can find us in Area 2 Lilongwe or can reach us on 0883 815 055. Come, let us help you grow your business.
For any complaints about our broadcasting, any feedback, please write Luntha TV via the email and the telephone number below, or write Malawi Communication Regulatory Authority Macra via the email below.
Glad you could join us for our 7:30 news bulletin. My name is Fales Chizomber. First, a look at our top stories. Vatican to hold Lent retreat in spiritual communion with Pope Francis. Calm restored in Lilongwe after police protesters crash as they demand salary increase. Government calls for stronger efforts in addressing systematic barriers hindering women and girls' empowerment. And in other news, child rape cases rise in Sudan amid ongoing conflicts. We have this plus many other stories. Please do stay with us. The Roman Curious spiritual exercises are set to begin on March 5th, but this year's edition will be slightly different due to Pope Francis' hospitalization at the Gemelli Polyclinic. The exercises will be held in spiritual communion with the Pontiff. The spiritual exercise will commence on March 9th, the first Sunday of Lent at 5 o'clock p.m. Rome time in the Paul VI Hall. They will continue until March 14th, providing a period of prayer and reflection for the participants. We have a Vatican News report read by Helbert Katanda.
Father Roberto Pasolin, preacher of the Pontifical Household, will lead the meditations during the spiritual exercise. The theme of this year's exercise is the hope of eternal life. Pope Francis' hospitalization has led to some adjustments in the spiritual exercise. Although he will not be physically present, the participants will be united with him in prayer and reflection. The spiritual exercise of the Roman Curia are an annual event that brings together top Vatican officials for a period of introspection and spiritual growth. The event is usually held in the weeks leading up to the Easter. The Holy See Press Office announced the details of the spiritual exercise, emphasizing the importance of prayer and reflection during the Lenten season. As the spiritual exercise begins, Catholics around the world are inviting to join in prayer and reflection, united with Pope Francis and the participants in the Roman Curia.
The Malawi Conference of Catholic Bishops, MCCB, has announced that 120 million kwacha is needed to successfully host the country's first ever Eucharist Congress in August this year. The announcement was made during a press briefing at MCCB headquarters in Lilongwe, led by His Lordship Bishop Alfred Chaima. Rashida Matandikar has more details in this report.
The historic event, the first of its kind since the establishment of the Catholic Church in Malawi, aims to deepen believers' understanding of Christ's presence in the Holy Sacrament and strengthen their faith. Bishop Alfred Chaima, chairperson of the Pastoral Committee, said the Congress will be held at Maula Cathedral and will include Eucharistic processions and adoration sessions. Ahead of the Congress, the Liturgical Committee has lined up weekly adorations and catechesis lessons to educate Christians on the significance of worshipping Christ in the Eucharist.
Because if you see where the Holy Father has taken the theme from, it is from Scripture, from Paul's letter to the Romans, chapter 5, verse 5 onwards, where he has ended up saying, if we cling to Christ who was crucified and then rose from the dead, and then got life for each one of us, if we cling to him, then that hope will never disappoint us. Now, we are saying that the Eucharist is where we meet Jesus, who is alive, who is active in the church, and we also meet the real presence of Christ.
Supporting the initiative, Pastoral Coordinator Father Joseph Sequense acknowledged the gap in adoration practices among the faithful, but expressed optimism that the preparations will help bridge this gap.
As a committee, we were mandated by the bishops to help our Christian prayer for this. And through the National Liturgical Commission, there were prepared resources where every week, I think the bishop has said, every week we expect in every parish there should be a day for adoration and benediction. So during that week, that day, there will be some lessons, catechetical lessons of the Eucharist to prepare the people for the Eucharistic Congress. So the resources have been prepared by the National Liturgical Commission and will send to all parishes.
As the Congress aligns with the Jubilee of Pilgrims of Hope, Bishop Chaima said the event will offer the faithful an opportunity to lean on Jesus in the Holy Sacrament, easing their burdens on the journey of hope. Rashida Matandika, Luntha TV, Lilongwe.
The National Commission for Science and Technology, NCST, is facing significant budget deficits and fears might hinder its ability to conduct research effectively. The Commission's budget, as presented by the Minister of Finance, received a 10% budget increase, but the allocation falls short of the research community's desired budget of $3.8 billion, resulting in a significant shortfall of approximately $1.7 billion. This was reviewed on Tuesday as officials from NCST appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Education. Charita Chilanga reports.
Speaking during the meeting, NCST Acting Director of Planning and Resource Mobilization Kundon Gondwe said the Commission faces significant challenges in implementing the science and technology policy due to inadequate funding. Among other things, he cited the functional review, staffing and mobility issues as some of the challenges the Commission is facing in implementing the science and technology policy. Gondwe advocated for increased budget allocations, adding that the Commission is exploring alternative funding sources.
To ensure that we support the industrialization process in the country. Now, you take note that the S&T fund as an instrument has only been allocated 550 million. Last year we had 500 million, which is an increase of about 10%. But the needs are greater. Being greater means that we have a lot of demand and our resource envelope is inadequate to meet the needs of Malawians.
Brainax Kaisi, chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on Education, emphasized on the importance of securing additional funding to support scientific innovation and technological advancement in Malawi. He pledged to collaborate with the Ministry of Education and approach the Ministry of Finance to identify potential funding sources and secure additional resources for the NCST.
What has transpired is that in their budget there is a great deficit for the organization to work very well, like in terms of research. Because in Malawi there is a policy that you cannot make research in technology or in science without consulting the National Commission for Science and Technology. So because of that, in research, it means we have a lot of deficit.
The NCST has established various programs to support research and innovation, including the Technology and Innovation Grants (TICs) and the Small Grant Scheme. These initiatives aim to promote the commercialization of locally produced innovative technologies and support the development of small and medium enterprises (SMEs) in Malawi.
Police in Lilongwe fired tear gas to disperse what they called a illegal gathering of people claiming to be employees of foreign nationals-owned businesses demanding salary increase. Lilongwe Police spokesperson Hastings Chigaru has since assured business operators of peace maintenance in the city, but confirmed that they were yet to arrest any person. One of the protesters, Mpaso Kaswaswa, said they were heading to Parliament to present their petition before they crashed with the police. Robert Edward visited Balanjevu just before lunch hour.
Now, just before lunchtime, this is how the Balanjevu and the bottom part of the city is looking like. Other shops, most of them have been closed. Business at this hour has been at the standstill, though police has managed to control and bring the situation to calm, meaning the protesters and the demonstrators have been dispersed. The police used tear gas to disperse the protesters. Now we just came to check the situation of the town. What you can see from my far left, these are shops. Most of the times at this hour, these shops are open, and this is a gate that takes you through to where there is Devil Street. I've been reliably informed that if you want to use this passage now, you really need to pay at least a 500 waja for you to be allowed to pass. They are trying to do that maybe to control the people who are going to be using this passage because of the situation that is in the capital city. But the police has managed to calm the situation, though with some fears still holding the traders, especially the shop owners who are yet to open their shops. The demonstrations were convened by some people who claim to be the employees of the shops owned by Indians and mostly foreigners, that they want their bosses to hike their salaries. They wanted to petition Parliament seeking answers, but when they were going through their way, police fired them tear gas and they dispersed all of them. For Luntha, this is Robert Edward.
You are still watching news on Luntha TV with me, Fales Chizombe. We'll be back shortly after this break.
Are you passing through Desert Town and you think of finding a place to rest or just to have some nice food? Always keep this name in your mind: Comfort Lodge. Situated in Airfield at Desert Town. Here at Comfort Lodge, we offer comfortable, affordable and quality accommodation. The place is located at a very quiet environment that gives you a comfortable and peaceful sleep. We also offer local food such as madimba, Masambode Ndira, Chisoso, ndi ndiwo zina za lokolo zambiri. Talking of entertainment, that's not an issue, as we have a DSTV for your favorite channels. Tight security, electricity and water backups are all in place just for you, dear customers. During this time of COVID-19, we have all measures in place just for your safety. Oh yes, come and taste a different feel of life here at Comfort Lodge in the town. Comfort Lodge. Comfort Lodge, your number one place for affordable and quality accommodation.
Welcome back. If you have just joined in, you're watching news on Luntha television, coming to you live from Bishop Neve Media Center. Before we proceed, a look at the headlines once more. Vatican to hold Lent retreat in spiritual communion with Pope Francis. Calm restored in Lilongwe after police protesters crash as they demand salary increase. Government calls for stronger efforts in addressing systematic barriers hindering women and girls' empowerment. And in other news, child rape cases rise in Sudan amid ongoing conflicts. Moving forward, the Ministry of Gender has called for stronger efforts in addressing systematic barriers that continue to hinder women and girls' empowerment. Deputy Minister of Gender, Community Development and Social Welfare, Halima Daud, made the call earlier today in Lilongwe during a press briefing ahead of the annual International Women's Day, which is commemorated on March 8th. According to Daud, ongoing challenges such as harmful cultural practices and economic disparities continue to limit progress in the fight of gender equality. Tanwim Zumara has more details in this report.
The minister said to accelerate progress towards gender equality, Malawi will focus on strengthening protections against violence, discrimination and exploitation by enforcing laws, improving legal access and engaging communities to challenge harmful norms. Daudi said organizations also have a role to play in ensuring the fight for women's rights continues, noting that more effort is needed to challenge these barriers and all sectors must invest in gender equality.
As a ministry, we're doing a lot. I've seen that there are a lot of early marriages. As a minister working with chiefs in the villages so that make sure that the girls who got married early should go back to school. That's a very big initiative the minister is doing. And let me commend the chiefs, the way the work they're doing to help the ministry to make sure that the girls go back to school. And as a minister also, we're making sure that we're doing a lot of awareness to make sure that the girls, the women are being assisted in the gender issues.
Meanwhile, UN Women Country Representative Lady Chiwala has touted education as one of the most powerful tools to break the cycle of poverty which fuels gender-based violence. Chiwala has since called for concerted efforts in breaking barriers where every girl has the opportunity to thrive.
More importantly, the issue of economic empowerment of women is a big challenge. It's a big challenge because generally women are not very active in the private sector and in running businesses or making sure and contributing to the economy through the private.
The theme for this year's International Women's Day is All Women and Girls, Rights, Equality and Empowerment. As part of the day's activities, officials from the ministry will visit mothers in the maternity wing at Kamuzu Central Hospital, and on March 7th, they will engage with women-led small and medium enterprises. For Luntha News, this is Tandiwe Mzumara.
The Malawi Congress of Trade Unions, MC2, has proposed a significant upward adjustment of employees' minimum wages from 90,000 kwacha per month to no less than 180,000 kwacha, representing a 100% increase. According to MC2 President Charles Kumjinga, the high cost of living in the country has severely affected low-income earners, prompting the need for the increment. Emmanuel Shocha reports.
Malawi has started the year 2025 facing numerous challenges, including fuel and forex shortage, inflation of the kwacha, and the widespread demonstration. In the light of these difficulties, the MCTU is advocating for a minimum wage adjustment to alleviate the financial burden on its members. In an interview, Kunchenga emphasized that as a mother body union, the MCTU is well aware of the struggles its members face due to the high cost of living. He stressed that the proposed wage increment is essential to ensure that low-income earners can afford a decent standard of living.
So the trade union, we have requested the government to raise the minimum wage from 90,000 to 180, not less than that, but we can go as far as 200 and plus. So the reasons we have done that is that the cost of living as of now is too high. You have seen things going up almost each and every day. So that's the key reason.
To discuss the proposed adjustment and a tax-free band, the MCTU has written the Ministry of Labour to convene a tripartite Labour Advisory Council meeting scheduled for later this month. The meeting will bring together representatives from the government, employers and employees to negotiate the terms of the minimum wage adjustment. In addition to the wage increment, the MCTU has also urged the government to control commodity price through the Ministry of Trade. If prices continue to rise unchecked, the majority of Malawians will severely be affected, exacerbating the existing economic challenges. For Luntha News, this is Emmanuel Juocha.
The Malawi Prison Service has expressed optimism with the new prison law, saying if it passes in Parliament and is assented to law, it will reduce congestion in prisons. Commissioner General Masauko Ngombe-Agwada, Wiscourt, was speaking at a graduation ceremony of the Prison Fellowship Malawi, which saw 53 residents who were undergoing vocational training in different skills graduating. Wiscourt said the new law is more of rehabilitation than the first one, which some people say was punitive. Jenny Galande Bernard reading a report filed by Andrew Nandolo.
During the fourth graduation, since Prison Fellowship Malawi and Prison Service Malawi started working together, saw 53 residents receiving certificates and starter pack 2 to take home. The Commissioner General Wisikoti thanked the Prison Fellowship Malawi for the training, saying the residents will be self-reliant. On the congestion of prisons in Malawi, Wisikoti said if the new prison law passes, will ease and reduce congestion.
You know, the current law that we are using was enacted in 1956, long time ago. And from 1956 to date, a lot of issues have happened. And this old law was focusing on, yes, rehabilitation, but people conceived this law to be a punitive law because it didn't provide issues of human rights, issues of rehabilitation were not fully emphasized, there were no diversionary interventions. But in this current law, we have a number of diversionary interventions. Instead of people coming to prisons, they'll be going for community service, people will be going on parole, public works, probation. So with the current challenge that we are facing, that our prison facilities are congested, overcrowded. Because of these pre-release initiatives, we hope the issue of congestion will be no longer a problem.
Executive Director of Prison Fellowship Malawi, Roderick Salimba, said he's planning to expand to other regions if funds are available so that they reach to many inmates.
And we are also looking forward to exploring possibilities. We are speaking with a number of partners. We have Irish Rule of Law, we have Hope Bearer Foundation from Germany. We are trying to explore possibilities for expansion of this kind of services to other parts of Malawi, in line with the new prison bill, which is yet to be enacted, but we are hopeful that we can have more halfway houses in Malawi.
Responding on support, Marcus Whittaker from Germany said talks are underway to see how they can assist. He said currently he is supporting a child's journey in countries like Togo, Rwanda, and Malawi, and they are ready to support for the expansion of Prison Fellowship Malawi.
Actually, I'm here in Malawi and in Africa to see, I mean, even in various countries, and especially in Malawi, to see if there is an option to enlarge the work and bring also other modern concept is called APAC to Malawi, which we are planning to fund, which means a lot of prisoners come in, get vacation, get training. And we have seen in other countries, especially in Latin America, that is a huge life-changing moment. So recidivism rate goes down from 80% to 15%. A lot of relationship to families have been restored. So that's the idea, together with the government, finding a solution to make that also happen in Malawi.
Among the 53 residents who have graduated, 7 are females and 46 are males.
And in other news, the United Nations has reported that sexual violence against children is being employed as a common strategy in the ongoing conflict in Sudan. A recent report highlights that millions of children are in jeopardy due to this alarming trend. In a shocking report, the UN Children's Agency has revealed that children as young as 1 year old have been victims of rape across 9 states in Sudan. Herbert Karanda reading an African News report.
As of early 2024, the agency reported that 221 children, including boys, have suffered this horrific fate at the hands of armed men. These alarming statistics were gathered from gender-based violence service providers operating in the region, highlighting the severe impact of ongoing violence on the youngest and most vulnerable members of the society. The conflict in Sudan erupted in April 2023, putting the military against the paramilitary group known as Rapid Support Forces. This brutal struggle has resulted in the deaths of at least 20,000 individuals, with estimates suggesting the actual toll may have even be higher. The war has displaced over 14 million people, leading to widespread famine in various areas of the country. Human rights organizations have reported numerous atrocities, including sexual violence and forced marriages of children, perpetrated by both factions involved in the conflict. UNICEF's recent findings indicate that approximately 61,800 children have been internally displaced since the onset of the war. The agency has documented numerous cases of children being raped during assaults on urban areas. Notably, more than 30% of the victims were boys, with the group including 16 children under 5 years and 4 infants.
That news item brings us to the end of our today's news bulletin. A recap of our top stories before we go. Vatican to hold Lent retreat in spiritual communion with Pope Francis. Calm restored in Lilongwe after police protesters crash as they demand salary increase. Government calls for stronger efforts in addressing systematic barriers hindering women and girls' empowerment. And in other news, child rape cases rise in Sudan amid ongoing conflicts. have been Fales Jizombe. Thank you so much for watching. Keep on watching Luntha TV. And goodbye.
Luntha Television stands as an autonomous faith-based broadcaster with a national and international reach. Experience the difference with Luntha Television, where innovation meets experience. Our dedicated team, backed by cutting-edge technology, ensures seamless execution and unparalleled results. Luntha guarantees credibility and professionalism in all its endeavors and services. We offer, among this, production and broadcasting of jingles, music videos, narratives, documentaries, press services and programs on location or outside, live broadcasting of mass and other church functions, government or NGO functions, and political rallies. Creation